Okay, so what we have here is my board from last time. We're going to go into our Manage Style Sheets, our CSS. And we go down, the first thing we want to style is, let's see if I can find it. There we go. Our row 1, row 2, row 3, and row 4 properties. So there they are. Now, I want to make them this color, as you can see on my outline. So I copy that color, and then I go down and I put that color in, and then I put a semicolon after it. There we go. And then, let's see, now the color that I want to go on this, I gotta grab that color. And then I go in and I put color, colon, pound sign, the hex code, and then the semicolon. And I'm going to do that all in the same for each row property. And then I edit, and you go and you refresh, and you can see that my color changed. Alrighty. So then the next thing I want to do is I'm going to grab the color for the title medium. That's the property that we're going to change. So we grab that color. We go into our CSS. Scroll down. And we're going to delete where it says image and the dash. It's just going to be background, colon, pound sign, and then our hex code, and then a semicolon. We're going to change the padding to 2, and then I'm going to add a property called text-align, colon, center, semicolon. And that's going to make your text all centered so that it's in the center instead of to the left, which is the default. Now I want the color that I'm going to use on that title medium. So the color, colon, pound sign, that hex code. And then where it says text decoration, where the links are, you want to put none instead of underline. And then font size, colon, 8 pixels, semicolon. So font dash size, colon, 8 pixels, semicolon. So you can see what that looks like. You can kind of tell that you can't really see the text clearly. Why that is because I didn't bold it. So font dash weight, colon, I put normal, but you should keep it bold, semicolon. And then also, in order to make it more clear to read, what I did was I did text dash transform, colon, uppercase, semicolon, which is going to make all of your text uppercase. So then if we refresh, we see that now it's a little bit easier to read and more crisp and clear. Alrighty. The next thing we want to do is the dark row 2. Now on most skins you're going to want the dark row 2 to look just like title medium. Okay, so what I usually do is I just copy my title medium color property and paste it in there. Copy the background property, paste it in there. There we go. Another thing you'll want to set is, let's see, our font size. The reason for making our font size small is so it looks small. So we go there. That's not quite as small as we want it. So we're going to change our font size to 6. And it looks like there's some default padding that we want to get rid of. So we do padding, colon, 0 pixels, semicolon. And we refresh and see how that made our dark row 2 a lot smaller. Alright, so now we go back. Now if you have Firefox, you can do Control F and get this nifty little box at the bottom, and you can type in the word that you're searching for. So the next property we're going to edit is main title, which I want mine to look like that, so the text is going to be that color. I grab the color of my text. The default is FFF. We're going to change that. Don't just change it up top, also change it in the links. See how it says dot main title a colon link, and then it does a colon visited. Those are all the link properties. So if you want your link to be a different color, then you would change that color, but if not, you want them both to be the same. Now at this point, I'm making a voiceover right now. At this point I had a little bit of trouble getting it how I wanted. For some reason, the main title, I tried to set my background to transparent, but it wouldn't work. I think it has something to do with the way IF is set up, possibly, or I was just having a blonde moment and couldn't figure it out. So I didn't end up making my background color transparent for the main title. I instead just made it the same color as my background, so it doesn't really matter. So here you can just see me monkeying around and being ridiculous. So please ignore. But basically, what you want to know is that when you code, there's always going to be brackets, there's always going to be a property, and there's always going to be a colon, a value, and a semicolon. So every time you see that end bracket, that end squiggly, you want to press enter and start a new line. If you group all of your code together, what is going to happen is it's going to look like this big jumbled mess. So make sure that, see how IF has it set up into those nice sections? You want to keep it that way. Make sure that you're not bunching it together. Especially if I'm reviewing your assignments, I'm not going to be a happy camper if I have to read through big, bulky paragraphs of code. Okay, so as you can see, I've changed my main title background to the background of my table. So, the next thing that we want to do is change our plain border and our table border. Because if you looked, you could see that ugly blue line, and we don't want that. So we set all of these borders to 0. Goodbye. And then we're going to change our background color to be the same color that we just changed the main table to. And if you need to make sure they're exactly the same, the dot main table and dot main title should be the same background color, at least for what I'm doing. If you want to change your main title to a different color than your background, then that's totally you. I'm just explaining how I'm doing mine.